living in the society that we live in and going to the high school that I went to, living in the town that I did with Boise State here, football for a lot of people is religion. I don't know if it was necessarily religion for me, but it was a huge part of my life. I mean, that's literally how I define myself as Matt Kaiserman, the athlete. I made that choice during high school that I would still play other sports. I still ran track and played basketball, but I was a football player. That was my main focus, and that was what brought me here to college. And it's every kid's dream to go to the NFL. It's every kid's dream to be that star athlete, and I was that at one time, and it's very difficult to let that go. Unfortunately, right at the end of fall camp, I received a very mundane hit. It wasn't anything hardly at all. It was a tap on the top of my helmet, really, and I could tell immediately that I wasn't right. I was probably just ignorant of the subject. I didn't know. I didn't know the seriousness of it. Concussion was always something that you just kind of played through. You always got dinged. You always got your bell rung, so to speak. Football is a sport that toughness is rewarded above all else. I remember taking the concussion impact test, passing it, taking a stress test, and initially passing it. And then the next day, I started feeling symptoms again, a few slight headaches. I knew I wasn't right in the head, and it took a lot for me to just look at myself in the mirror and have the courage to go against the status quo of being tough, and to walk into the head trainer's office and sit down with him and have an emotional conversation with him and tell him, I can't play, I'm not right, I don't feel right. That concussion ended up holding me out for over a month. My second one was this last year in the Mako Las Vegas Bowl against Utah. I received a blindside hit on a kickoff from a Utah player that broke my brand new titanium face mask. It was the latest and greatest helmet, and I didn't see it coming, and I blacked out for probably 5 minutes until I came to on the field. My first concussion here at Boise State lasted over a month. That second one, the symptoms noticeably lasted 2 to 3 months before they finally cleared up, and I wasn't cleared to actually do physical activity for another, it was probably 4, 5, 6 months after the actual concussion. With the limited knowledge that we have of concussion, it was really interesting to see what the doctors would say. And I remember sitting down with Coach Pete, my parents, my new wife, the athletic training staff, and the team doctors, and we all sat there, and the doctors literally told me that we can't tell you that you can't play anymore. And ultimately, when making that big of a decision, I had to think about my wife. I had to think about my overall future. I think a lot of kids these days, they don't have the education. I don't think their parents have the education, and I don't think the coaches have the proper education to be able to assess, in my opinion, the truly dangerous circumstances when an athlete gets a small concussion, and it's really hard to diagnose, and it's kind of borderline. I think those are the toughest ones, because as soon as that kid goes out to play, he puts himself in harm's way. With my understanding of concussion now, when in doubt, I think that's the key. Whenever in doubt, you have to play it safe. Concussions are, with the knowledge that we have now and the ever-increasing knowledge that we're receiving, it really says that they're not something to play around with whatsoever. And if you want to continue with your athletic career, if you want to continue with a normal life at all, you'll play it safe. And hopefully your coaches and your parents and your teammates are all educated enough to really pick you up and understand your situation and to understand your decision.